y'all. Welcome to the Queen's Table, the Queen's Lounge. We are Queen City, and this is the Queen City podcast. Welcome to our new episode. My name is Shalisha, and to my left,
Carmen Laren in the building, you already know.
and to my right, we got Troi Lauren. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
And today, the topic of discussion is breakups, okay? Get them out of here. Get them out of here. How y'all feel about breaking up?
Am I the only one that's going through a recent breakup? Is it just me?
What do you consider recent?
Like a month.
Yes.
When do you break up with people? Do you have to have made it official to have broken up?
Oh my.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, wow.
But sometimes, matters of the always come with a title.
That's very true, which is why breakups are tricky, right? Because you can be with somebody, kind of, like officially, or you can like kind of be with somebody, and then that's harder, I think.
Yeah.
It's way harder to deal with because where do you place all of those feelings? You can't say, "Oh, I broke up with my friend."
You can't say you broke up with your friend.
That's a different thing, though, right?
Sometimes not. Emphasis on the breakup, not the necessarily with the title of the relationship is, right? So if it's a friend, you break up with a friend. You can break up with a boss. You can break up with a job. You can break up with a activity.
Relationship.
You can break up with a place. A habit.
I'm sure, yeah.
But, most people be talking about breaking up when it's significant. In which case, significant could be anything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm also going through one, but tell us about you. Well, I'm not going through one, but I've recently, depending on what recent is.
Recent is important.
Recent is important. 2024, I've had, it was a long breakup I had. Because there was also, it was just a long situationship too.
How long was the situationship?
I would say like comfortable. It's never officially titled, but everything else was my man. Except for the energy though, it was interested energy outside, like inside, it was my man.
Yeah.
And outside it was like, this is my friend, my really good friend, and I love this friend. He loves me clearly. Like look at us.
Yeah.
We're friends and we love each other. We love each other and we did.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
Did that contribute to the breakup, the dichotomy of the relationship? Because that could be tricky.
It could be tricky. I think I want to say yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're wanted to be a representation of. I was like, wait. Or when it was time for me to focus on different relationships and or just expanding my network differently, there was discomfort there. So I would say the two definitely didn't help it. It didn't make it easy.
What do you mean by expanding your network differently?
So we're in showbiz for just a little bit.
Ain't for everybody.
We are not just entertainers, but we are part of a community, a large community of people. And what we're learning as women in our development, what I'm learning within the development scene is that how we build relationships is important.
Yes.
And what we give our energy to is what will either grow us or slow us. So when it was time for me to start forging relationships with females, other female artists, other creators, producers, didn't matter what they were as far as their creative title.
Yeah.
But I knew I needed to spend less time on the phone in between jobs with them, and I needed to be on the phone with them or just making arrangements. And instead of being up in your crib, hanging out, doing the things that we like to do, I probably need to find time to cultivate other relationships.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of like, it's 0 or 100 with me. This like middle ground is real bad. I don't exist here a lot. I'm either like I love it or I hate it. We all in. Or it's like enough and no. So though there was still love and tons of conversation and desire to still be in that thing, I think what he felt on the other side was abandoned. What he felt was he felt the heaviness of the separation because I went from all the time conversations, phone calls, in the space, making time, making arrangements, doing the things, going above and beyond, while still being myself to directing that energy elsewhere.
And the resident Cancer probably likes to cuddle.
And I love to cuddle. So when I'm with people, you feel my energy, especially if you're open to receiving the energy and I'm open to giving. Like, it ain't just about to be in a room and you be cuddling. Like, no, there has to be such a mutual and reciprocated thing that I'm looking for when I give that way. So it got hard, I'm sure, for him. And it sucks because for me, it was just as simple as like, I can't do this with you this way anymore. You know, like, let's figure out how we can be friends. And even still, with us not having a title, we were technically still
Right.
Y'all was together.
Yeah, for sure. It was together and friends. It was interesting. But I kept being like, and he'd be like, but this is a strange place. We're still kind of left in a limbo. And I'm like, why do you feel like we left in a limbo? We're not. We're not doing that thing in that way. But it doesn't mean that I was being a good friend to me.
Oh, yeah. Probably because the desire was still there, maybe on his part, and that's probably why he felt in limbo. Because he's like, I still have a desire to be with you in a certain way. And maybe, and this just came to my mind as you was just explaining the story, but like, it could have been that time that y'all were apart from each other, he still felt that same feeling that he felt when y'all were apart indefinitely, like as not being in a relationship anymore. So it felt the same to him, even though the situation was actually different, it felt the same. So he might have still had the limbo feeling because he felt like, oh, well, this is how I feel when she's busy.
Yeah, when she's busy.
And this time he was busy and booked.
Booked and
Booked
busy.
out.
Booked out. It was interesting and it was hard. And we're still transitioning.
Mm-hmm.
The transition or the
breakup from the breakup to now.
What is it? August? I think it's oh my bad. What is it? Right. I would say we've been transitioning for like since like March. April, since like April to now. And still, like, there's been a little bit more clarity in the last month.
Would you say y'all are still breaking up? Or is it broken up already and you're still kind of figuring out what the new relationship looks like?
The latter. We are broken up.
Okay.
And I'm like, still
breaking up for months.
It's a long time. We are broken up for time.
So, because you had this, well, I've recently broken up. So, like, end of July.
Okay.
And it's just September. So, like, it's the end of August, actually. Right. So, you guys are going to see this.
This when y'all see this.
But for me, I can understand, like, you had the conversation, right? And you don't have closure for real on both sides with the conversation. So you continue to have the conversation. And because this is your friend, right? Also, it's like, this is the person that I care about. Like, why would I ever want this person to feel abandoned or left, or, you know what I'm saying? And then you have to also balance that with what you need. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I could give you what you need, but when do I get what I need? And I think that it's really tough to be the one to have to make that decision that you know is hurtful for the other person. Especially when you know that everybody's intentions are good.
Yeah.
Like, they may not be good. I was listening to an audiobook on my way over here, and it was talking about separating your intention from your impact.
Okay.
And your intention could be one thing, but your impact is totally different, and you gotta be accountable for both.
Yeah.
For both things. It wasn't my intention to such, but that's what it did to me.
It requires self-awareness
Yeah.
and knowing what kind of impact you're having on someone, even though it's not your intention.
When they tell you the impact,
Right.
instead of dismissing it.
That's acknowledging what someone said about you and internalizing it, which is also self-awareness for real. Like, if you tell me that I'm inconsiderate, and I be like, okay, and it goes in one ear and out the other, and then we start having issues around me being inconsiderate, I was not self-aware. You made me aware of myself, and I dismissed that.
You did no introspection. That's what happened.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just a matter of agreeing, right? Like, because you can come from different backgrounds. I'm learning it more and more. Different family structures and completely different cultures within, like, the African American experience or even the diaspora. So you're gonna have maybe, you know, somebody who in their family they don't go see each other or they don't show up for each other a certain way. Or things like the support looks different.
Yeah.
But in my family, we're coming to get you.
Yes.
We are showing up and we're coming to get you. Oh, it's a body, not no more. Like, I'm learning that when you look for your dynamic in other people, they don't always know how to connect to it. So what you might think is selfish, they don't know that's selfish. Or what you might think is reasonable, they feel like it's selfish. I learned that a lot.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, the family dynamic and the value system and like how you're raised and all that stuff, because honestly, that is how I chose my current partner.
Okay.
I am not going through a breakup, but I am divorced. And so part of the reason for that breakup is because of alignment, really, more than anything. I don't think that he's a bad person. I don't think he thinks that I'm a bad person. We don't maybe like each other as much as we should. And I'm not saying we hate each other, but I'm just being honest. Like, we don't really like each other as people sometimes to a high level, which is why we didn't work out. Because the things that I value and the things that he values are just different. And it's not even that like his values are wrong or my values are wrong or whatever the case. It's just the fact that like he values different things than I value. I realized through that process, we are entertainers, right? I'm not a civilian. I'm not satisfied with regular, schmegular life. I need excitement, adventure, entertaining, right? I'm loud. Like, I can't be with somebody who wants to mute me, who wants to tame me. And I'm not even saying it was him necessarily, but he's more comfortable with a more relaxed life, like a more civilian lifestyle, like a low key, like get a house, maybe get a dog, you know, work every day, come home, eat dinner, chill, go to sleep, do it all again tomorrow, take a vacation once a summer, you know, and it's a good life. That's a boring life for me. I'm not interested in that. I want to turn up on a Tuesday. I go to work from 7:30 in the morning to teach children, and then I transform into Beyonce and go sing a bunch of Beyonce songs all night long. Like, and that's not normal. My kids don't live a normal life. They don't. It's just, and I enjoy my life that way. I don't want to change it. And so things of that nature matter, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
How you do life matters when you are choosing a partner.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah. So, question for all of us for real.
Okay.
What is one thing that you notice about yourself after the breakup?
Lots.
Be something that you like or don't, but
Lots. Lots.
you know what? Give me one of each, actually.
Okay, so it's the first thing and then the second thing.
What's something about yourself that you notice
Okay.
after the breakup?
That you like a good and you don't like.
A good thing and
you like.
okay, something you like and don't like. Okay.
All right, so I am introspective tons. I'll be placing the blame on me a lot. Like, how could I have made the adjustment? What could I have done differently? So a thing that I noticed that I didn't necessarily like about myself is that a lot of my relationships, they're held together because of my effort. I show up to the places, I come to the people, I do the things, you know, like I'm doing that. What I did like, I just noticed a lot of stuff that I didn't like. So that's a plus for my partner or the person that I was loving. And like, oh, she's willing to come the distance and to put in the work.
Wow.
That's beautiful. But when it's not reciprocated, because that was another thing. It was like, well, I think the relationship, the breakup took so long because it was like, well, just pull up. Like, come to me. I can't come to you, and we can't sit on the phone, but like pull up on me. So that's a pro and a con. It's a lot of stuff. I was like, I could have been more open to this thing, or you're a great guy, but I realized that I got issues with this thing, and it didn't allow me to see it that way. So in breakups, I see a lot of my own.
Okay.
I see that.
That's fair.
It's fair. How about you?
For me, because divorce is a really big breakup. Like, screw all the other ones I ever had in my life, right? Well, we just kind of just signed some paperwork, like, when we'll be married. But it's a big life change because you don't plan to divorce when you get married, right? So, like, you plan to be with somebody forever. You set your life up to do that, and then you be like, no, I'm gonna pivot and go in a completely opposite direction. So that taught me a lot, actually. The biggest thing that it taught me, which is good, it's good, but it was good through negative, through a negative,
Like a pathway.
yeah, negative pathway, I guess, is that I learned that I did not trust myself a whole lot before I got married. I was living my life based on what people told me, right? Based on how people told me I should be living, what I should be doing, what things equal other things. So, like, I grew up in the church, and it was like, no, you ain't get married because you out here dating these guys and you having sex before marriage, and you keep yourself, gotta keep, find you a husband, and y'all can be together and blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's a lie. From the pit, actually.
I'm sorry that that's a lie. Because I know that maybe at one time, and for certain people in their lives, maybe that was their story, but the ones in church
And here's
are not it.
baby.
It's not even that they're not it. It's sometimes they're it, right? Because I'm from the church, and like I feel like I'm a good person, but sometimes they are worse.
Baby.
I can't get with no church folks. Sometimes they're worse, and
They're
it's
so
not.
much
It's
worse.
not even doing it.
Let me tell you all the people that I would date before I ever dated again.
My God.
A drug dealer.
Yes.
Okay.
More morals.
A scammer.
Yes.
Okay.
Values.
A hood ninja.
Yes.
Okay. My boss. A 22-year-old.
Oh my God.
Okay. I would name so many more. We don't have time, but those are all the people that I will date before I date a man
From the church. In the church.
from the church. If you go to church every Sunday, you a minister, you a leader, you go in a choir, baby, I don't want no
No
parts.
part to you. No, thank you.
No, thank you.
We need an episode
She-
about.
we gonna come back to that in another episode. Stay tuned for church.
We got y'all.
Church and them.
Church.
I don't know what we gonna name it. It's something like
that.
Stay tuned.
And it's not.
But come for your people.
Yes.
I'm so.
And let me
like,
be
oh.
clear. Let me be clear, and this is what will lead us into the next episode. But it's not God or belief in God. So don't get us twisted. It is the church environment and what it breeds, and we won't get into that.
Yeah.
But anyway, where was I? Got lost. All I'm saying is I was taught a bunch of things, and I was trying to follow the rules.
Right.
And it wasn't necessarily rules that I agreed with or disagreed with. I didn't even put myself in it. I just was following rules. And when I started to put my own feelings into what I was following and what I believed and try to connect the rules to my actual belief system, I didn't believe all of the rules that I was following. And so those rules put me in the situation that I was in, and it wasn't really true to who I was as a person. And that's where it went left. Because had I maybe followed my heart and my intuition and what I really truly felt like was calling me, it might not have been him. And I might not have been the person that was calling to him, because I think he was doing the same thing. It was like the right wrong situation. Like, okay, y'all look like y'all would be a good couple for one another because of your families, because of your upbringing, because of your jobs, because of all of these things. and we get together and we like, I don't really know if this is it.
Wow.
You know, and it's like, it's really not it. And if we stay in this situation, we're going to hate each other for real because we don't really have the same value system in real life. Like who I am on the inside, who you are on the inside,
Right.
it's not really a match for real. So yeah, that's what I found out about myself. I started following myself after that. I started listening to my heart. Been happy ever since.
Good.
For real.
Well, Carm, tell us about your relationship. Your breakup or your process or whatever it is. Like, and then what you learned.
So my process, it was gruesome, to be honest. It was not in a like, you did this to me, this hand. Like there was no event per se. Like it was a little bit like an incident that was like, you know what? Let's not. There was that, but there was no like accusation that I could point and be like, this major event makes me have to walk away. It was like over time, just these truths that just kept adding up. You know what I'm saying? That I had to like just confront them in me for the most part. It's like, do I want this? You know what I'm saying? I would want it if it was this, and if it was this, and if it was this, but it's not none of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I had to, and I was another one like you, Troi. Like I said a bunch of times, like, you know what? We can just go in peace. We can just be friends. Like there's a lot of love for you here. Like I'm not angry. I'm not blaming you for anything. But it was like, I'm not going over. You know what I'm saying? That was like ruling because now, in order for me to make this final, now I have to hurt you, and I don't want to be hurtful. I just want peace. I just want resolve and harmony. And I think that the only thing we didn't try was to be separate. Like we had talked about therapy for this non-official relationship.
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
You know what I'm saying? We talked about like so many things, and it was just like, you know what? The one thing we never tried to do for real was to go about our business.
Definitely.
It's the only thing we didn't try. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, and it was a heavy decision, but I believe it was the right decision. Like I go to bed, and this is what I go to bed, and I am happy.
Yes.
And I'm at peace.
Oh, girl.
Like I be getting in the bed like, oh, I don't gotta make that end of the day call that I know is going to drain me.
Baby.
And it be that, and it wasn't even the person. It was like working myself up to do this thing that I'm already anticipating. Like I know it's gonna be this. I know it's gonna be this. And I know it's gonna be this. And I know it's gonna be long. And I don't have that much energy and we're like bandwidth on my mind. Like I don't have it, but like if I don't make this phone call, then I'm gonna be accused of being negligent, and I'm gonna be selfish, and I'm gonna be like all these things. But like I really don't have it. Like I need to just go to sleep.
Yo, you know what's crazy? And whatever, it is what it is. You sound like a dude. Oh. Yo, hear me out. Hear me out. Because listen, this is what dude, and I say like a dude because we're talking about overall social like norms or whatever. You will see all over the internet guys talking about girls that's just so needy and like, oh, I can't talk to you every second of every day. Like I gotta work. I'm a man. I'm da. Yo, this sound like my sis right now. She's like, I gotta work. I need my rest. I gotta get up in the morning. Like I can't be on the phone with you all night.
But there was, and that was the thing. Like he would work all day. Yeah. We would both work all day. Yeah. He would work all day, but not sleep, so that we could talk. And I'm like, I can't.
I don't want to do that.
It wasn't even about my wanting to. It was the fact that I could not.
Yeah.
Like, do you know we a delicious age?
Yeah.
Do you need sleep, baby?
You know we go to bed so that we can still look delicious.
Yeah.
Like, it's part of the care routine.
It's important. my body powers down. It lets me know that, like, I'm not. We off this.
So it was really like a good night, and I think that was something that he maybe took personal sometimes. And then, so on one hand, I think he understood it, like, okay, you gotta go to sleep, like, I get that. But on the other hand, it was like, he knew, like, I would be sleeping, like, why you guys
like a make of effort on your part, but it was really like, I'm just being healthy. I want to live this way instead of that way.
It's 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I'm taking my days 2 at a time. I can't, you know, and it
Can't keep this up.
and so I'm gonna send a text saying, I'm not gonna talk to you today, and like that would make me feel so sour. And I'm just like, why don't you care that I didn't go to sleep?
Right.
And it wasn't that he didn't care. It was just like he had that capacity to not sleep, and I didn't.
And I think that brings it back to like values and lifestyle and things like that, because you valued your sleep and he didn't value it as much. And so he expects you to live your life compromising for him. You kind of expect him to understand, like, I need sleep, which is maybe a compromise for him.
Yeah, and sometimes he did, but I could tell.
And sometimes you did too.
Right.
But y'all both was a little sour about it.
I could tell. Yeah, he was just kind of like, all right. Like,
right.
All right, go to bed if you got to. You know what I mean?
But I think, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead.
I just think that it's important when you find your partner to find somebody that values the same things you do. Like, imagine your life with a person that goes to bed too. Which is different. That would make the entire experience in a relationship.
For me, it don't have to be that you go to bed too.
Yeah.
It just got to be that I'm at peace and comfortable knowing that you're not feeling even a little bit slighted because I did something different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the main thing. You can tell somebody, oh, I need this. And they can say, okay, you need that, no problem. But when you tell somebody, no, I need this, and at this point, we're not even talking about sleep. If you tell a person, I need this, and they be like, you just want it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, now it's like, why I gotta negotiate with you for what I
said I wanted or needed?
I know I need. Because the truth is, even if I didn't need it, the fact that I wanted should be important to my person.
Yeah, and I just wanted enough to communicate that to them, because that's caring and kind to communicate what you need and want from people.
But even aside from that, right? I'm gonna tell you what I found out. Okay. Well, I'm still deep diving this. Whether I like it or I don't, because I feel like it's justified. I am distant when I don't feel safe. Even in relationships.
Okay.
I'm like, I see you over there. No.
Yeah, I'm not going there though.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because, and I realize this: people do not hear what you say. People tend to look at your body language or want you to be warm or want you to be a certain kind of way in order for them to hear you. But if you just say, I'm a person who just says it. Like I tell you, oh, I think I need this, or I would like this. Like I'll just say it. I notice people throw that a lot. And it's weird for me because I'm like, you don't have to guess. But it's not a quiz, it's not multiple choice, nothing. I really like this, I really don't like this. Why would you give me something that's not either? So when I have communicated like several times, and I will communicate several times, but when I've done that a lot, and I notice you do things like use private, personal things in an argument. Now you gotta ask me how my family is, because I'm not gonna tell you. Right. But now you feel like I done shut you out, and I did, because guess what? I learned. I learned that you I can't really trust you in that regard.
Yeah, I feel all of that.
You know, so I also realized that comes across, and I was just in a conversation with somebody, that comes across as punishment to the other person. And I feel like that's murky for me, because how is it punishing you to protect myself? But I realized that's how it comes across, and I don't know how to fix it.
See, I take stuff like that, and this is something else that I learned from my relationships, experiences, and things of that nature. When I come to those crossroads, I just make a decision that I will never be around anyone or engage myself with. The moment you stop making me feel safe, you gotta break up. Because I'm not going to be in murky waters with somebody
Well,
that's...
I did that. And it was like, I'm not leaving.
But here's the thing. That was when you discovered that about yourself. So now that you know that,
yeah,
when you see that again, now you know you got to head out because you know where that's going. And that's how that's pretty much how I navigate through. Like, once I learned a lesson from a past situation, like with the marriage that I was in, like, that taught me I have to get with someone who is aligned with the things that I enjoy for the most part, or aligned with the way that I see the world for the most part. It don't matter if it's acceptable by my parents or the people around me or by my church or whatever. It has to be my value system, because I'm the person. They gotta be with that person.
Yeah.
And so it gotta be lined up, or we can't do this.
Shared values are important. Shared morals are important. I think feeling safe is
Ultimate.
It's a mandatory thing.
Seriously.
Feeling safe is tricky, Feeling safe is tricky because I think people feel safe differently, right?
Yeah.
Some people don't feel safe when they don't feel seen. Some people don't feel safe when they don't feel heard. Some people don't feel safe when, just communication varies and differs and makes people feel safe or unsafe. So that means that's a cultural thing too, that people have to actually understand your culture. Or at least your background and your personality is important. I hate fighting. I don't like it. Me and Lish be like, she gonna be like, no, you got to be in a relationship.
Now, I don't like girls, but I'm just using this as two personalities, right? When we're a person like Troi with her type of personality, and a person like me could never be in an intimate relationship, because she absolutely abhors going back and forth. I'm gonna go back and forth with you every time until we reach a solution. She don't have the bandwidth to get to the solution all the time in one setting. Maybe we might talk about it for a little bit today, maybe a little bit tomorrow, maybe a little bit next time.
Titrate into the
solution. Maybe.
Now I'm doing this with you for 2 hours.
For 2 hours.
No.
And that's one of the reasons why me and my husband broke up. He didn't have that bandwidth either. Yeah. Where he came from, any type of back and forth was negative. In my household, we fight over Monopoly. We do not care. And we love each other so much. We're super close. That is how we love each other, by arguing and making each other stronger. We got 3 signs, a Scorpio and a Gemini. Ooh. That was my growing up household. An Aries, 2 Leos, a Gemini, and a Scorpio. We fought for my life every day. And I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest.
We got an Aries, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, and an Aquarius.
Baby.
She was for her life too.
For her life. We fight all the time and love it, because that's where we came from. This baby right here.
Yeah, no. See, for Cancer, I be crying. I be sad. I don't want to argue. I start thinking, did I do something wrong? What's going on? But more importantly, I'm not insatiable. That what it is that you're saying or suggesting or whatever, your opinion isn't something that I can see and understand and say, okay, that's fine. Even if it's not what I said, even if we don't agree. I can lay something down and mean it and stand by it. And then you can say, well, I don't agree. Let's go with something else. And I say, all right. But at least she's going to be like, no. Let's talk about
a resolution.
Why did you say that? And
right. I
just
know why I say answers to everything. I can't go on.
You see? So I am 50-50 on both of those things. Except when I throw it in the trash, it's in the trash. I'm not running back for it. If I told you I don't care, I meant that. I meant that.
For me, probably not. I be not caring in the moment. Like, I'm done. I can't care because it's too much for me right now. Like I gotta actually leave this alone.
Yeah.
So I don't care.
That I actually had, and this is with the breakup. There's an argument that we had that I actually got receipts from, and I got outside opinions. I hit 10 people that backed up my argument, and then you know what? In the middle of the thing, I was just like, I don't care. You know, he never ever saw any of them receipts. He don't know to this day that I did all that labor. He don't know because I decided not to care, and he will never know because I really genuinely left it. I left it right there.
Now, the Leo would never leave it. I would have sent you the receipts, baby, and I would have made my point 3 more times.
Oh my gosh.
Just in case. And I'd have sent it to your email, your text thread, your DMs, and left your voice note.
And I might have sent it to your mom.
Oh,
But they don't like
because when I'm right, I'm right.
Because when I'm right, I'm right. When
We go argue.
people don't love it about me, but when I say it and I mean it, I'm holding it. That's what I said, and you can't get me to change it. You cannot get me to make the adjustment. You're going to have to eat that and feel how you feel about it, and just know that I said what I said.
And that's, for me, it's like, to a degree, you could argue and tell me that trees is purple, then you just gonna be out here believing it. I'm gonna let you believe it after a certain point. Like, I'm gonna show you the trees and I'm gonna tell you not to show you the color, but if you like, no, that's purple, you right. Be blessed.
But you know what? I can do that with somebody I don't have to talk about trees with. But if I have to be around you and you're going to continue to believe that trees is purple, we're going to argue until we stop being around each other talking about trees. You're never going to bring it up again.
She's a teacher.
Because, baby, you either going to see these green trees or we're not going to talk about trees ever again.
No.
Because you bring a tree up to me, the first thing I'm going to say is, you know it's green, right? Not purple.
Just before we go any further.
You know what I'm doing? I'm going to commit to the setup. I'm gonna let you run into everything and everybody that's gonna tell you the trees are green and not purple, and I'm gonna shut up.
And she gonna stand there when they tell it to you, and you like,
and I'm gonna be like, yeah, you want some soda? Because I'm not talking to you about trees. I said over there, said it enough. I'm done.
I can see about relationships and breakups are hard for us, okay?
We are very special women.
We are special. Now, before we get up out of here, I got one more question. Because I know I'm really bad with breakups in general.
What do you mean? Like, what's bad?
I am a serial monogamous one.
Same.
But them Jones be like this. They be blurring into each other. So, like, sometimes the start of the joint, it just be at the end of another joint. Because it's hard for me to get rid of. Sorry.
When y'all see that in the footage on the playback, what you doing?
It's hard for me it's hard for people to let me go. Okay. And that's the thing.
You can't force
So I can't force them out. But until I do, I ultimately end up having to hurt feelings in order to really sever that tie. And that sucks because I'd be wanting to be your friend afterwards. Like, let's be friends. But I just hurt your feelings. I know that sucks. But, like, you wasn't letting me go. Like, what was I supposed to do? Anyway, so, like, that has been a common theme in most of my life.
Okay.
I feel like this last situation was a little different, but it's very clear that when you go through such a long breakup, you're already out of it. I love you. I care for you. I would never want anything to happen to you. And if you need anything, let me know. If I can help, I can. But I'm out of it already. And that happens a lot. For months, I am out of it.
Yeah. For women,
They just
be out. Like, hold on. They hold on, like, they be really, really holding on. And when they not ready, like, if they're ready to break up, then it's a breakup.
Okay.
But if they're not ready to break up, it's like really hard.
Yeah.
I don't have the problems y'all have.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
The
period. I am very strong with boundaries, and when I am ready to go, I'm out. And I don't care if your feelings are hurt, because here's what I do. I'll stay as long as I possibly can. And when it's over, baby, it is over. I don't care if it makes you sad because you have probably made me so sad by the time I walked away that I could give a less how sad you were. Be sad. It's a sad world out here. I'm sad too. And what? And what? Like, what you want me to do? When I was sad, what was happening? Oh, you were still making me sad more. Get out of here. I'm done. When I'm done, I'm done. And so for me, breakups are, it's not a breakup process. It's a, can we fix this process? And if we come, or I come to the conclusion that we cannot, it's over. And I'm done. And I'm done emotionally. I'm done physically. I'm done. In my marriage, when we were done. He was the Taurus, so there was no hope there. When we decided to be done, we were really done for real. The Taurus and the Leo, there's no more stuff. I mean, you can't get more stubborn than that. Like, it's just, that's healthy though.
What was your initial question?
What's your breakup process? Like, what is it? What's the breakup process?
Yeah.
Jeez. Essentially, we got on the phone, we prayed.
Is that common? Y'all pray often on the phone?
That's what we
Is that what you do every time?
That's what we did all of the time.
No, I mean,
it's what I'm telling you.
With every person that you break up
no,
with.
I'm just saying this time, like, we did the whole thing. Like, don't be lonely. Go get a friend. And then it was just like, no, I'm still be there till you
not
somebody else.
You're not gonna be lonely because I'm gonna be there.
Right. It was like toxic.
So
like I just did not like. And granted, I had a lot of love. I have a lot of love and care for this person. What's this? You know what I mean? Like the breakup process takes. Like, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, but I just be wanting to fix it. Why would you fix it after the baby?
Right. You should have been wanting
like
to fix it.
I
have
a theory.
What's the theory?
It's hard to hear.
Okay.
What y'all saying, but I would just say this for the internet and my two friends here.
Okay.
You gotta hold the line. And I say that like this: when when you set a boundary, you find something out you don't like, set the boundary. And if the boundary is crossed, you have to have a consequence. Because not the only reason, but most times I feel like people fix the thing after the fact.
Yeah.
Because you have actually officially held that line at that point. Holding the line was actually you being done. Yeah. You gotta create that line before being done. If you want to see results from that person, you have to make them think that if they cross this line, they're going to get electrocuted. You cross the electric wire, it can't be you cross the electric wire. Because if there's no, they're gonna keep crossing it. They're not gonna take you seriously. And so if you say like I'm saying this thing, and you don't have a consequence, then that's where it gets murky and starts getting wobbly, because then they're like, well, I heard what you said, and you're trying to negotiate your boundary at that point. And they don't take you seriously until the boundary has no more negotiations.
Right.
But then by that time, you also don't want to be with them no more.
Exactly. And I think that men and women are opposite in that regard.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think that men tend to love you more the more that you like forgive them and the more that you give them time to grow. But women love you less and less over time the more you make them have to forgive. Like we're opposites in that way. Because it's like, I don't love you the same. You are not being loved by the same person.
Right.
Now I am different now,
right?
Because
I'm not her.
You have disrespected every boundary that I've set. And now I am resentful towards you.
Yeah, like I don't.
Dang, that's crazy.
We're not the same people. You got a whole new bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, like you got a whole new one.
Wow.
Like we're not the same now.
Dang,
This one is cut up.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yeah, unguarded.
This one got injuries. She don't run as fast. She don't recover as quickly. Or she's numb.
Yikes.
Or they're insecure, because a lot of that hurt that happens in relationship does create a level of insecurity within the person willing to forgive in the dynamic.
I think
And
that's interesting. Yeah, because I feel like, yeah, the new normal. That's the thing I wanted to mention. I still had to go through a lot of. You know how when a tornado hits the house. Not that you've
Never seen it.
Right, I've never had that.
You know, TV, right. The tornado hits the house, but they never show you the family cleaning up after those tornadoes.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel a lot like I'm still putting things back in place.
Yeah.
Within myself. Like,
Yeah.
I let this get way out of balance.
Yeah.
I let this get way out of control. Like, things back on the show.
Reset.
Put these things back in their place. Doing that a lot with myself.
I had to do that a lot after my divorce. That's how I became so clear on who I am and what I want. I took some time to really flesh that out. I was dealing with relationship coaches. I was following like workshops. Shout out to Mark Groves, who really played a big part in getting me together. If y'all not following him on Instagram, if you want to get some relationship get together, he gonna get you together. He helped me to take responsibility for the part that I played in choosing a partner that wasn't for me.
Right.
I could blame my ex all day and be like, he wasn't this, he wasn't that, we weren't aligned, da da da. But baby, you chose him and married him. And was with, we was married for 7 years, by the way. 7 years. It wasn't like no quick marriage and then we quickly broke up.
Because I've had situationships longer than me.
Wow, crazy.
Ain't that crazy? I used to be crazy. Now, for all of y'all sliding my DM now, I'm not that crazy no more.
I'm not answering no DM.
Okay? I'm not.
None.
All of y'all trying to get your, chance to go around, I'm not that crazy no more. Yeah? All right.
So question. We want to know how y'all be breaking up. How do you sever the tie? How do you create a clear boundary? How do you say, stop texting me good morning every
I say it just like that.
morning.
I say that.
Oh, no, you just be blocked.
I say that, see, 3
See,
different
it's
ways.
different because
She don't say it, I say it, and she'll block you.
I don't say it, Rob. Be like, is this really all you have to say to me? Like, is that what you want to say?
Or
you don't have to. You don't
send him a dick pic.
send them a dick. Yes.
I can't.
That's what he won't do it no more.
See, I can't function like that, y'all.
Send him one.
Direct communication. Stop texting me in the morning. I don't like it. If you text me after that, I'm going to fight you. Because what are we talking about here? I said stop texting me. You did it anyway?
All I'm saying is, if you want to talk to me, just talk to me. Say something. Be normal. Don't just say good morning and good night. Don't be strange. Say, I saw this thing and it didn't think of you. Or I saw this thing. Did you see this thing? Or this is funny. You should check it out. Like, say something. Other than good morning, good night. Gentlemen, don't like that. We think it's weird when you just text us good morning. No. If we like you and we further the conversation, then great. But if all you giving is good morning and good night, it's just weird box. So with that being said,
We're going to break up with you.
how y'all be breaking up?
I'm gonna make you feel like it's your idea.
I just want it for
talk to me about. Yeah. All right, but we there. All right, y'all. Thank you for stopping by.
This is the Queen City Podcast and the Queen's Lounge. Thank you for coming out. Oh, what y'all was drinking?
I was drinking.
I had my tea.
Liquor.
I had my tea from last year.
It's one. Yeah, this is the last of my tea. Here's some little red peppers in there because that soothes and numbs your bones and
You know what?
feels really good.
I think that people might be interested in what we be drinking a little further, and we could do a podcast. But I think that there's a private community that we like to start for us and talk about the weird tidbits and the nuances of the things. We'll deep dive our stuff, but we could also be interested in that.
Yeah, and in the meantime, go back and watch
Just one more episode.
So,
Bye, y'all.